Innovation and leadership is what we are going to be talking about. He's already on the line. He's joining us. We're going to be talking to him in a short bit.
Adventist World Radio, from broadcast to baptism, powered by SID Media.
Yes, indeed. Coach Melusi Ndalambiko joins us on the line. Coach, good afternoon to you.
Greetings, my brother. I hope you can hear me.
Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Are you well?
I am blessed as always and grateful for life, man.
Fantastic. I don't think I've spoken to you this year. Are you doing well?
You have abandoned me.
Man. Hey, we're still in the first quarter of the year, so yeah, we are.
Yes, man. I know you're quite busy. Your radio keeps you on the spot, but yes, it's a blessing to speak to you, and what a privilege it is. Well done for the work that you're doing. I see your live clips and all of the other stuff on Facebook and the like. So well done and keep it up.
Lovely. Thank you so much. But well done to you as well with your ministry there. It's always a pleasure to watch it.
It's an honor.
Now, innovation and leadership, and in the ever-changing and evolving world of business, where adaptability and innovation are key to survival, but the role of leadership cannot be overstated. A true leader has the power to shape an organization's direction, culture, and creative capacity. Now, in this conversation, our aim is to really delve into the factors that set some leaders apart when it comes to innovation. Now, you're going to be helping us to decipher all of this. Now, before we get far, what is the role of leadership when it comes to innovation? How are the two related? And how does the leadership drive innovation?
That's a great question you've asked there. And for me, leadership is about influence. It's about the ability to inspire, to guide others, to mobilize people towards a common vision or goal. And when you look at innovation, it's actually about finding new and efficient ways to solve problems, to improve systems, and to create value, because life is dynamic, things change and the environments change. And so the two are inseparable, because leaders create environments where innovation can thrive. So leaders can kill innovation and leaders can facilitate innovation. And without strong leadership, innovation would struggle to take root. So the question then is, how does leadership drive innovation? Or what role does leadership play in driving innovation? That ability to create new ways of solving problems. It's about three key things. If I can quickly just highlight them.
All right.
It's about vision and purpose. So innovative leaders paint a very compelling vision of where they want to go, where they want to end up at. And they then challenge their teams to think beyond the current status quo, because what brought you here cannot take you to the future.
Yeah.
The greatest example we have in our time is people such as Steve Jobs. He didn't just develop products. He redefined the industry, and today many people are benchmarking on some of his products. And then the second most important thing about leadership is the culture of experimentation. So leaders create safe spaces for creativity. They allow people to make mistakes. So where failure is seen as a learning curve, leaders would actually encourage their teams not to be afraid to make mistakes. So leaders would take calculated risks to push the boundaries in terms of exploration. I think the best example I can think right now globally is what Elon Musk is doing with his SpaceX company and innovations. That's a world class. And there are many in South Africa. We recently lost a young scientist in South Africa who was really doing some innovative stuff around science and engineering. And the third thing, just to highlight quickly about the role of leadership, besides vision and purpose, besides culture of experimentation, the third and very important aspect is how leaders empower their teams and they collaborate with others.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
so
yeah.
leaders will flourish when they develop a culture of trusting and empowering their teams to experiment. So this can actually shift the company's trajectory or the country's trajectory, encouraging competitiveness and ensuring that they leverage some of the best collaborators, thinkers who can help them to drive innovation. This can actually lead to groundbreaking advancement. And so those are the three main areas I believe leadership can actually tap into innovative strategies to transform the future of their companies or their countries.
Mm. Now, how can a good leader? You described what would a good leader,
Mhm.
especially in as far as innovation is concerned. And thank you for that. Now, how can a good leader establish a culture of innovation in their team or organization?
That's a powerful one as well. There are about four things I can highlight quickly. Number one, they must
Mhm.
embrace rather than resist change.
Okay.
Change is not your enemy, it's your friend. So embrace it and manage it. Change is the only constant that will always happen in a leader's life. So you will wake
Mm.
up today and find the landscape has changed. The ball game has been passed to someone else. And as a leader, you've got to innovate and work within that change environment. Secondly,
Mhm.
a leader must encourage diversity of thought. It's not one size fits all. You can't crush the people who think and look at things differently. Embrace that diversity of thought, because the greatest asset a leader has is their thoughts and a team that thinks deeply and differently.
Mhm. Mhm.
Thirdly, we are fortunate to live in a generation where technology is very common, and
Yeah.
technology has come in to help us to, jump certain stages and even be more efficient. So a leader must leverage technology for progress. You must make sure you build systems that are replicable and can be scaled at any space. And lastly, a leader must be willing to take calculated risks.
Mm. Mm.
If you don't take risks, you may not be able to break the barriers and go into a reinvented future of your business or your company or your organization. So I think those four are pretty critical. And what I think also could be very important and very practical for a leader,
Mm.
it's to embrace the mindset of growth. Make sure you encourage a culture of learning and ensure that teams can make their own decisions and they can be autonomous to act and explore creative solutions without you having to stop them. Allow
Mm.
teams to be autonomous and make sure whatever digital tools are available, they can be used to enhance efficiency of the team and ensure that they try new solutions. And one of the biggest one, which really is a risk for many leaders, especially those who are trying to be innovative, is this fear of failure. So an innovative leader must be comfortable under their skin with failure. And you must hear that leader saying a setback is a setup for a step up. What can I learn from my mistakes? How can I get up and keep going after I've made my mistakes? So setbacks are stepping stones to success. They will never sit back and cry and moan and close shop because something has failed. They will always look for a new way. And I think that's what defines an innovative leader.
Mm. 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 Coach, I'm looking at our generation, and it does seem that we do have some innovations. But I'm contrasting this generation with the previous generation where a massive innovation came to being, innovation of electricity,
Mm.
talking about light bulbs and all sorts of things. It looks like the generation of the 40s, the 30s, the 20s even. or even in the 18th century, but
Mm.
came up with massive industrial scale innovations. And it does not seem that we have that big scale of innovation. Is it because of the lack of innovative leaders, or is everything that could ever be innovated already done?
Actually, there's a lot that's happening in our current and modern day in the space
Mm,
of innovation. The
okay, all
biggest
right.
one we can talk about is artificial intelligence
Ah, okay.
and machine learning. Man, if you are an industrialist, this thing will blow your mind. This is some
Mm,
technology at another level. And remember,
yeah.
there's generative AI, which is your
Mm,
Google best chat GPTs, your Google Geminis, your AI, and all of the others that are
mm,
text, video, and image based. But
mm,
also there's revolutionary medical diagnostics, which is what we call AI powered healthcare,
mm,
where a doctor can now diagnose someone sitting in America because technology now allows them to be in the room through the technology.
mm,
When you look at the whole space of robotics,
mm,
man,
mm, mm,
it's mind blowing stuff where AI is automating a lot of our tasks, especially when you
mm,
look at some supermarkets where people no longer need to go to check out at the counter. You can just walk into this supermarket with your phone, scan all your items into your basket, and technology does the calculation of the cost and all of that. And then when you look
mm.
at the monetary space, there's this thing they call Web3 or the blockchain technology.
Mhm, mhm,
Oh man, if you look into that thing, it'll blow your mind. And it's going to change how central banking systems or digital currencies work.
mhm, mhm,
This new generation of scientists are talking about launching new digital currencies as an alternative to the cash that we know. You know, we've always
mm.
said cash is king, but now they're saying no, digital currencies, are the way to go. And then
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
explore other areas, building onto the industrial revolution, absolutely great innovations have been done in the last 300 years. It's phenomenal. But those have also
Mm,
gone on to other areas. If you look at areas such as sustainable energy, the green
mm,
technology, the solar, the wind, and all of those advancements. I had the
mhm.
privilege in one of my work before to work on a battery innovation solution,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
which really is transforming how new electrical vehicles are being charged and using clean energy instead of the old sodium based batteries, and how you could actually generate electricity without the use of these old battery systems. So I would like to believe there's a lot, man. Right now, I'm not even in your studio, but we are talking over the internet,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and there are wild ideas that people have about taking the technology we now have to another
Mm,
level. We're talking about gene editing. There's the lab grown foodstuffs. Um,
mhm,
there's personalized medicine, how you could learn to take care of yourself and have tailor made medicines that are based on your genetics and how the technology that's built on the health system can help you with that. I could keep going on, man, with robotics, with automation, with meta and extended reality. I think they call it metaverse and extended reality. Talk about
yeah, yeah.
quantum computing, you know,
Mm,
solving
mm,
complex problems that are beyond traditional computers.
mm,
It's
mm, mm,
mind blowing, such that one of the fields that we really should be worried about is security of our lives online. How
mm.
much of the online is going to continue to control us? In other regions in the world, they're even talking about smart cities, and urban innovations, AI powered traffic management systems, and digital governance. The models are just mind blowing. So there's a lot of innovation that's happening, but it's really sequenced and synced with the growth of the computer age and the ability to automate and create some almost human-like efficiencies that are mind-blowing. So we haven't stopped. Innovations are actually shaping the future. And as they are shaping, they are also disrupting old industries and they are creating new ones. When I went to high school, which is in the 1980s, there was some of the companies we're actually using today were non-existent.
Yeah.
But they are here now today, and we are talking about creating new technologies and new businesses and new models of living. And so there's a lot more technology now than there was in the past. And that technology is really being decentralized to individuals. It's about how this technology can help me to do more with my limited body so that when I'm resting, the technology can continue working somewhere and still generating money or still helping somebody else and running services and goods and machines and all of that. So it's a digital world. It's a global, innovative planet that we are now living in.
Beautiful stuff, man. Oh, fantastic and fascinating, stuff about innovation. And of course, leadership must, and those who are in leaders must then be right at the front of making sure that, those organizations, teams, workmates, colleagues, and all of those involved should actually be embracing, innovative ideas and making sure that there's even more to innovation than what we have today.
Yeah. Yes.
Coach Melusi, I must thank you so much for talking to us today.
Amen. Thank you so much. I'm sure our readers, and our listeners might be wondering, what is this to do with me as a Christian?
Yeah.
Where do I come in? You see, in 1 minute, let me say, God is looking for courageous believers in this time of the last day. He's looking for those who dare to be Daniels and stand up and chart the vision. Proverbs 29 verse 18 pops into my mind. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keeps the law, happy is he. God is looking for those who will be strong and courageous and not be afraid. That's what leadership is about. Neither be dismayed.
And especially because we, are looking at ways, innovative ways in which this gospel that we preach today can actually reach much more quicker, because yesterday, of course, we've got the tech, we've got radios, podcasts, and everything else. But hey, there could even be more innovations to make sure that it's much more appealing and all of that. So we need all that innovation in that space to make sure that the coming of the Lord indeed is quickened by our involvement.
Yeah. In fact, one last statement I would say is God is using all of these innovations and leadership that's being demonstrated by his children to shorten the time of the end. Right now, sitting here in South Africa, it's 5:30. We could actually be connecting with anyone across the world and sending this gospel at the split of a second across the world. But we need to be innovative. We need to have the gospel on our fingertips, and we need to leverage these technology platforms and create a church. 10 years ago, I was talking about a virtual church. It's a reality today. I just finished a 10 days fasting and prayer program purely on the virtual platform, and we had over 600 people who participated. That's a church by itself, and God is calling us to use this technology to spread the gospel. And I pray someone will stand up out there and say, here I am, Lord, I will stand and go for you.
Beautiful stuff, man. Coach Melusi, thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Amen. Thank you so much, and good afternoon to our listeners.
Lovely. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Adventist World Radio, from broadcast to baptism, powered by SID Media.